Shanghai Dragons will go ahead and win that attack round. And San Francisco Shock, they will take the series as well. Just a really, really well executed push by Shanghai Dragons here. San Francisco got some kills. What a start. Dia still causing a lot of trouble. Baby Bay has just been on fire. Oh.
Red. It's time for our third and final match of the day. Welcome back to the Overwatch League. We are during the regular season, and this, of course, is just day 3 of many days of action coming your way. I'm your host, Chris Puckett. We got the desk back in action. We got Brent Sideshow, and Zoe is joining us once again, and we are gearing up for a great matchup between the San Francisco Shock and the Shanghai Dragons. Let's catch everybody up at home, though, of how things have sorted out so far today. Real quick thoughts here, Sideshow, as we look back at our opening match. What did we see when we saw the Valiant take on the Dallas Fuel?
Yeah, we saw a great matchup of aggressive, dive-centric play going up against Dallas Fuel, a team that's normally been able to shut that down but struggled a lot. LA Valiant looked crisp, great teamwork, excellent ult focuses, perfect play from them.
And then, of course, we saw Florida Mayhem fall 0-4 to the Boston Uprising. Quickly, Bren, how'd it happen?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed in my European brethren. I had a lot of faith in them, actually, to be honest, to be winning this one out 4-0. But in the end, it was, of course, Boston Uprising who got the upper hand on them in a 4-0 sweep.
All right, so Boston gets their first win. Now we're going to find out who gets the first win of the Overwatch League regular season between the San Francisco Shock and the Shanghai Dragons. Let's get right to it. Please welcome to the stage, the San Francisco Shock. Now, Zoe, this squad fell to the Valiant, which has proven to be a very strong team, 4-0 on the opening day. How is the team feeling coming into today's match?
Yeah, I've just been in the dugout and I actually got to talk to their coaching staff, Partial, Legit, and Brand. And they, Brad, I'm sorry. That way, right?
I'm not
Brad.
the coach.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're definitely not a coach. I got to talk to them. They said the guys feel a lot better. The scrims yesterday went a lot better. They said the loss they had against the Valiant, it was a lot of it was inexperience in a serious environment. They had a very emotional response when the game just didn't go their way.
Bren, when you looked at this squad, yes, they lost all 4 games, but were any of the players standing out for you?
Yeah, so we've gone on to death about Baby Bay and how good he is as a hit scan player, but one in particular that I thought was pretty good was the tank player Nevix, and he had a very impressive performance on the D.Va throughout all of his games. It seems like his game sense is very much up to par of a lot of the other better D.Vas in the Overwatch League, but what's most impressive about his performance on the D.Va is the fact that he's traditionally been a jack of all trades. He's moved from role to role, and tank is something that's very much new to him, and he's still putting up a strong performance.
This team has shown us as well that they can perform. In the preseason, they had a surprisingly good performance, and I'd expect that to continue as it peaks and troughs throughout the season.
That's the San Francisco Shock. It's time to introduce their opponents. Please put your hands together for the Shanghai Dragons. Shanghai fell to the Gladiators 4-0. And they're hoping they could make an improvement from the preseason. It wasn't the greatest opening match for this squad, but Sideshow, what are you hoping to see from the team today?
Yeah, as you said, they struggled a little bit in the preseason. We thought perhaps the gap, amount of practice and preparation would see this team improve. It is still very early days for Shanghai Dragons. And this is a match that they can potentially put up some map scores, get themselves on there, maybe even come out with the win as well. They are the underdogs coming into this one, but we've seen that they have a star DPS player. He's on the screen right now, that's Dia, and he will be able, or has the opportunity to shut down Baby Bay in these matches.
So Dia, I'm glad you mentioned him, because he is going to need to perform up to a high standard if they want to be taking this matchup against San Francisco Shock, and we know that he's capable of it. We've seen him in the preseason, didn't have a particularly strong performance in the previous game that he played yesterday against the LA Gladiators. However, we do know that he can perform, and I want Undead as well alongside him. This DPS duo, as soon as they get that down on lock, they should be having a better time in this matchup.
Let's talk big picture here. How do the two play styles compare between the Shock and the Shanghai Dragons? We've only seen one match from them in the regular season.
Yeah, well, the San Francisco Shock, when we saw them play against the LA Valiant, were playing a very anti-dive style, all clustered round each other, trying to protect Baby Bay when he was on the McCree. We haven't seen too much raw dive coming out from the Shanghai Dragons because they don't have that star Genji player on their roster. So I think these have got quite even, scrappy individual styles where we'll see a lot of big performances from these hit scan players and less so from the tanks.
Bren, if you're looking for Shanghai to walk away with their first win of the regular season, outside of the DPS players, what are you looking at more? Is it the support or the tanks?
The support play of Shanghai, I'm expecting a stronger performance all around. I feel Altering as well needs to just step up his basically his general play just a little bit more to counteract it. San Francisco Shock's general play style of the protect the baby base strategy, as we like to call it, it can be dismantled quite easily as long as Shanghai are on top of their game.
I think both of those teams are mechanically really strong in terms of their players, and that's why I personally really look forward to see them playing on Ilios. Ilios was a map both of those teams performed really well. They did not win it, however, they did show us great strength on that map, so that's going to be my personal highlight, hopefully.
Ilios is coming up for map number 3. Looking forward to this battle. San Fran going up against Shanghai, and it's time to kick it off. Let's send it over to our casters from South Korea, back to America. It's Monty and Doa.
That's right. It's a huge international get-together here. We're American, but we did spend a lot of... It's a jamboree. It's a festival. It's a brouhaha. Well, it's more of a fight, but I mean, we're going to see some sick fighting in our match. You see that segue? That was amazing, right?
Wow, you killed it as
I know,
usual.
right? Thank you very much. San Francisco Shock, there they are on your screen right now. Both these teams winless, but going into this one, Shock, you got to say they should be favored a bit, huh?
Well, I think you'd say that. We'll see if the Shanghai Dragons can really turn it around, because they not only didn't take a map, they only took 1 point across 4 maps. But somebody is going to be taking home a victory tonight, a chance to turn the season around very early on for these guys and start to set up something a bit more positive.
Very true. It's been rough for these guys, of course. And, we've seen things in the past that tell us things like Roshan is actually a pretty good Winston, but he hasn't seeming to be getting the support he needs from his support. Maybe things will change. It's a long season, so there is time. Let's check out our maps. There they are. There they go. They're gone already, but we're going to Junkertown, guys. Our first map of this 4-map series. This is a map that has, for me, embodied so much frustration, but also so much fun. I mean, we've seen such amazing games on it.
Funstration.
It's funstration. Absolutely. My heart is torn in different directions by Junkertown, but no doubt. In the Overwatch League, we have been seeing a lot of great games on this one.
Yeah, and especially earlier today, obviously, that thrilling 8-7 finish between the Valiant and the Fuel.
Yeah.
This time we're probably going to see more of that double sniper setup. We'll see what the teams are going to pull out in terms of composition.
If you guys missed that Dallas Fuel LA Valiant series earlier in the day, definitely do yourselves a favor and go back and watch that one again. That was a seriously incredible set of maps.
Yeah, it was quite fun. Neither of these particular teams have played Junkertown yet. Both were on Dorado for their first match.
Well, we've certainly seen a trend on this map, haven't we? Of the double sniper with the Bastion. It's kind of supplanted a bit of the quote-unquote pick style that we saw earlier.
Yeah, you do wonder, however, what on attack the Shanghai Dragons roster is going to do, because they've been so heavily in favor of double hit scan compositions.
Yeah, very true.
And have mostly shied away from a lot of the projectile heroes. But we are going to see Dia pull out the Junkrat to kick things up. Roshan on the Orisa, and it will be Undead back on the Widowmaker. So only 1 sniper here, but they will have a lot of damage from the grenades from Junkrat to start breaking down these barriers on the cart. Sleepy will be on the Bastion.
Very true. San Francisco Shock on the attack. Shanghai Dragons on the defense as we get things started. And San Francisco looking to set a solid time here. Nevix watching for those early hooks, but Shanghai playing this one pretty far back, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, but they have to stay away from the Halt. Halt's going to fly over the top. They're going to know nobody is on the high ground right now, and that means they're going to be backing off even further. Roadhog of Shanghai on the flank, and this is the traditional, at least recently traditional, we would say, composition of double snipers that we have seen on Junkertown attack.
It's a new tradition. Dia does fall early, Altering, uses a res to bring him back up again. Whoa, and Baby Bay sneaks around for the kill on Undead. You do not see a lot of flanks like that, and it's the Baby Bay show already here on Junkertown.
And it was the Baby Bay show in the preseason for the San Francisco Shock. He was looking dominant.
Oh boy.
Mine not going to be able to take Dia up onto that high ground, meaning Baby Bay still is going to get some nice targets here on the reinforcing members of Shanghai from spawn.
Yeah. I mean, Baby Bay has really been the standout player on San Francisco Shock. You saw his team really trying to take extra efforts into protecting this guy, and for good reason. He puts down so much pressure, so much damage, even escapes hooks once in a while. That's good.
Yeah, he is, and the teams that have been able to shut this San Francisco Shock roster down have done it by neutralizing Baby Bay, and most recently with the Valiant, by punishing some overly aggressive positioning by Sleepy in particular, but Dak as well with the Mercy. But Sleepy this time going to be really accountable to only himself, dealing the damage on the Bastion, so less of an opportunity for him to mistime a peak like he was on Zenyatta during the Valiant match.
Yep. All right, San Francisco setting up a high ground position to try to get that payload forward. Another nice hook comes in from Nevix. Has to get behind that shield. Ooh, he gets pulled down. Pops the breather to stay alive, and there's a whole hog now. Shanghai getting pushed back a little bit here.
Roshan going to try and survive, but that's not going to be Sleepy. Just rolls through in the tank mode, and nobody's really stopped this payload for very long on the side of the Shanghai Dragons.
Not really. The only time it's paused is when San Francisco Shock has paused it themselves to get that good position on the high ground.
Yeah, and they're just going to head straight into point C here with a wealth of time in the bank, 5.5 minutes. And they haven't been forced off of these double snipers. You know, usually we see some hold as Undead will take out Dante, who is pretty far forward there.
Baby Bay looking for some revenge. Has to back off, though.
Dante probably going to switch off. Yes, now the Tracer comes through, but the fact that he hasn't had to switch off already all the way through point is unusual for Junkertown.
Well, Undead finding the pick finally, and then Dia comes in with the Riptire onto Sleepy, so Shanghai Dragons with a chance here to stall out this payload. Baby Bay, or rather Nomi, finds himself on his own on the Orisa, and it looks like San Francisco Shock is going to have to reset here.
Yeah, with these choke points, if you start to lose with those double snipers, you're never really going to be able to get back into position again, so it's time to switch off. Baby Bay not going to be convinced, however. They will keep one of them around, but Nevix now going onto the Diva.
Yeah, that's right. Dante on the Tracer. Right choice there. Dia backing up with that Junkrat. Trying to retreat to the high ground now. Just rain grenades from above, but already Shock pushing that payload.
We're going to see some more high ground control. Undead actually falls to Nevix.
Wow.
Get himself into a line of safety on that Widowmaker. Sleepy also taking out free fields. It's a good opportunity for the San Francisco Shock to continue pushing forward.
Sleepy is one of those Zens that you really need to watch out for. I mean, he's really good at getting those picks when you're not expecting it. Pretty accurate with those orbs of destruction. And that payload's getting close to finishing this attack run here. Shanghai Dragons, if they're going to do something, they need to do it now. Roshan and Undead already dead before this fight begins, though.
They're going to get pushed off. Shusha funneled off into the side. He's going to be able to get some healing from that Mega health back and actually manage to stay back. That's pretty big for the conclusion of this engagement. Might be Shanghai Dragons able to spawn into this.
Now, Ultring was able to use the Valkyrie to bring people back up again, and now San Francisco Shock has to kind of take a bit of a break. They're pushing forward slowly. They did have to leave the payload for a moment. Sleepy does go down. Gets brought back up again. It's a Diva battle on the top.
Yeah, they're holding onto the Transcendence, though. Sleepy going to pop it just as he dies. However, that is going to be Nevix losing his mech, so not healed up in time. And now he's going to try and get it right back by using the blaster. Does contribute significantly to some kills.
A Bunny Blaster Rambo coming in on the side of Shock, man. Nevix making his presence felt. Well, then feels the presence of Dia a little bit too. It's becoming quite a grind for Shock, and they are beginning to struggle a little bit here. Maybe Baby Bay can see them through. Dante pushing that payload.
I mean, he did get both DPS players there and force them back to respawn.
Yeah.
With the shield down, you're just not going to get any more big hits from that Widowmaker. Not enough damage to keep this payload moving. So 2 minutes, 35 seconds remaining, and it's just not quite there yet for the Shock. Shanghai Dragons has done a good job of just ticking down this clock, as we can see here a lot of the time in point C. Completion is a difficulty.
Yeah, getting set up for another attack now. Baby Bay went down, got back up during the meantime.
Both Widowmakers using their ultimates, trying to punish
Baby Bay
for peeking.
Ooh. Dia falls as well. That was nearly a kill onto Ultring. Now Dante trying to build up that ult. He's got it. Shusha taking a lot of damage from that Tracer. Nomi did fall, though, so again, Shock having to back away. 2 minutes left in the time bank. They've certainly got opportunities yet to finish this attack run, but It's getting a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, Baby also
Outside.
going to switch to the Genji. He does have enough time left to build up a Dragon Blade, and I think this is smart too. You need to put more pressure onto the actual cart, and
There's a kill.
yeah, Roshan has actually been doing a good job of stopping this. Dante gets a little bit of free time pushing the payload though.
Yeah, Undead has had a lot of free firing time too on that Widowmaker. A lot of easy shots lined up for him here. Doesn't get that one, has to back away now. Gets back for a little bit of healing at spawn. Looks like he's gonna swap. Goes over to the McCree now. Wants that flashbang to make a difference. Free feel, force back. There's a Transcendence coming up for both sides. Jusha did take down Baby Bay with the self-destruct, but that payload is still nearly there. Maybe Shock can push it just that little bit farther.
I don't know if they're going to be able to, Doa. A lot of people getting resurrected right now, but maybe they can push them off the payload just enough to get it moving.
Oh, Dak getting low, taken down by Roshan. Without the Mercy, it's going to be a little bit tricky here. And yeah, Shanghai pushing San Francisco back one more time.
Less than a minute remaining. Baby Bay up to 75% of that Dragon Blade. And so he will have an opportunity to pull that ultimate out without any kind of support ultimates on the side of the Shanghai Dragon, as everything was dumped into the last fight.
Shanghai's been pushed around all round, but they have found quite a bit of stability here on point C. One last attack coming in for San Francisco Shock. They desperately need this one to work, as this is the difference between 2 and 3 points for them, and they lose Dante early. That hurts really bad with 20 seconds left, and now Sleepy falls as well. Shanghai taking the opportunity, jumping in, and they may have finished it right there. Desperation coming in for San Francisco, but it will be tough to take it in the last 10 seconds.
And in the preseason, in the regular season, it has been Dia who's been coming up for Shanghai Dragons when they've looked good.
Yep.
And those are the picks you need. Wins the Tracer duel, gets the Zenyatta as well, and now it's all or nothing for the Shock.
Baby Bay's got the Dragon Blade on the outside, but Roshan takes him down. Shanghai holding strong for the moment here. Nevix on the payload, but low health. Gets a bit of healing. Diva on the outside. There's the self-destruct. Can they get there? Looks like Jusha sacrifices his mech to do it. Nevix still on the payload. This is crazy. Finally, D-mech does the rest of the Shanghai Dragons come in. And as OT ticks away, Dante can't get there, and that is it. So San Francisco Shock, close, but not quite the 3 points they were wanting.
Yeah, so close at the end of that match, but credit to the Shanghai Dragons who had to hold point C for 5.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Finally stabilizing, forcing some switches out of the San Francisco Shock attack, and finding that success.
All right, and we've got a Sounds of the Game replay, so let's check out what happened in the players' comms.
I play Hunt.
I know the way.
I know that way.
Do you know the way?
There was actually one guy with the way sign.
Really?
Like, yeah.
This is the way. I know that way. Some guy should stand at the entrance like, guys, this is the way.
This is
Follow
the way.
Cosplay, that's Knuckles. You can the Knuckles.
Well, there you go. That was
Hearing some Florida mayhem.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know. I chat before games too. See, we're just like them, Monty.
We're the same as
We could
players.
be on that stage too.
No, I don't think we could be, ever.
Okay.
We're the old men of gaming now. Sorry, Doa. We're past our
Suppose
prime.
you're right. Yeah. Well, I've always got Kirby's Dream Course, I guess.
Is that the one bright spot in your pro gaming existence?
That's right. Yeah, it was my peak, really. Yep. That and Primal Rage back in the mid-90s. Well, teams are getting set up for the next round here. It's going to be Shanghai on the offense. San Francisco trying to keep their hopes alive here on Junkertown. Shanghai doesn't even need to complete the map to win this one. They need to get it nearly all the way there. For all intents and purposes, it might as well be 3 points for San Francisco.
Yeah, and Shanghai looks like they will be going back to that double hit scan style that they've been favoring in these very early days of the Overwatch League. And they will couple it with free feel this time on the Bastion.
Interesting. I like this. Support's getting to play Bastion. I'm into this. Shanghai on the attack. We'll see what they can do. Dia has looked best on the Tracer, but his McCree is certainly not something to trifle with either. Oh, but Undead trifled with immediately by Baby Bay.
Had a little bit of help with the damage boost there. However, San Francisco Shock just backing around the corner, seeing if they can provide some support towards Baby Bay. Maybe playing it out of range of the halt, ripping them away from the safety of their cover.
Have to scatter a little bit. Dia needs a doctor. McCree, someone get McCree a doctor. He's on to, he found a health pack, right?
It's fine.
I don't need a doctor anymore.
He's his own doctor, really. Dante, 2 kills though.
Oh,
3
man.
as he takes out Aldrich and Dia, so Dante.
Shanghai needs a mortician right now. That's what they need. Back to the beginning. Back to spawn for the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, Dante, a player we typically associate with heavy tracer play, but coming out on a projectile hero and making a big impact in the first line of defense right here. And, well,
Hey, what do you know?
shot some grenades.
You know, nothing is more tilt-inducing when you see that in the kill cam. Yep.
He's like,
We've all been there.
Yep.
We've all been there, Shanghai.
That play of the game makes you feel bad.
That's right. It's just a Torbjorn walking back from spawn. Undead gets brought back up again as Shanghai tries to keep moving this forward, but here comes a Riptire, courtesy of Dante. You gonna find any kills? No, Dia manages to pick it off with some sharp shooting.
But how are they going to get back to this cart at this point in time?
That's a great question.
Free Feel has switched to the Zenyatta, so they've given up, and this is the problem. It works most of the time when you run the Bastion, but if you get de-seated or unseated from the cart, it can be very difficult to get that Bastion back around.
Shusha just tried running in there with the Diva we saw and immediately got demeched. That hasn't been working now, and that flank from Baby Bay. Nobody really opposing him at the moment. Shusha goes down already. And Shanghai, yeah, just having a really hard time even approaching the payload.
Another hook there, just bringing Roshan back in. Does get behind the safety of his shield. Undead attempting to use the Widowmaker ult to see if he can get some damage done in the meantime. Peeking out from the flank and actually finds Sleepy.
That's right. Sleepy brought back up again. Nevix has been doing a pretty good job of watching that right flank for the Widowmaker. Doesn't need to anymore. Baby Bay finds him. They're trying to come now. All right, high noon. Nobody really showing themselves, it looks like. And Nomi loses his supercharger. Oh, well. Dante, whoa, gets a couple with that Riptire. And Nevix still kind of wandering about.
Yeah, altering pop the Valkyrie at the end of that fight, but even with that ultimate up, the Shanghai Dragons still resetting off the side of the map, and it's a very valuable tool they're going to be lacking in the next fight. They need Free Feel with only a minute remaining to somehow use that Transcendence just to get onto the payload.
All right, checking this out from a wide view here, you can see Shanghai just kind of completely zoned off the map by San Francisco, especially if that Riptire comes in. And it just does not get any easier from there.
They're at least trying different approaches, though. And they're going to come around the opposite side on this attack. But Nevix, Sleepy, and Dak are already over there.
Baby Bay makes me nervous when he walks backwards that close to the cliff.
Dia trying to get back onto Sleepy. Okay, he does force the Transcendence, so that's a win for Shanghai.
Okay. Yeah, what can they do with it, though? Baby Bay getting away. Oh, right into the sights of Undead. Sleepy's still in the back lines, watching everything unfold, and Undead just going wild on this Widowmaker right now. He has decided to put Shanghai on his back and carry them, apparently.
Dia, can't say enough about that play. He knew that the Transcendence was up, and if they got it out early, they would have their own to fight for on the card itself. So he was really the hero, making sure that that support ultimate was not going to be used for San Francisco Shock to hold them off, and they get a little bit more time.
Yeah, it's another 2.5 minutes on the clock for Shanghai Dragons as they do finally start to move into point B. It was close, though. A great hold from San Francisco.
Yeah, and having an overtime hold on point A in the first attack with how hard it is to get all the way through this map.
Yeah.
By the time you hit point C, it really is going to be difficult for the Shanghai Dragons, but you never know. We saw a couple teams get all the way through the map with only a minute earlier today.
Ooh. Undead, man, you gotta beware. This guy is, that's why. Starting to really catch fire on this Widowmaker now. Lots of picks at the end of point A and early point B.
Yeah, definitely starting to come to life here.
Yep.
He's a player who had 18 eliminations and 38 deaths in their first match, so a negative 20 kill differential, but he won't be repeating that performance tonight.
They really needed this guy to step up. He needed to be better if they were going to have any chance of winning this match. And it's looking a little bit better at the moment.
Well,
yeah, that
a lot better.
Now a little bit better. Oh, a little bit less better, but still better.
Sorry, he's back to deal some more damage now, Doa.
Altering brings him back up, that's right. Shusha getting onto the high ground there, takes down Dante, trying to break this hard point that Shock has set up. That payload, though, still moving for the moment. Dante brought back up, but now Nomi getting pretty low. Jusha back with the rest of his team, trying to repel the assault from Nevix.
Yeah, altering with the later Valkyrie. Can Nevix get damage done? Does find Undead, but that may not be enough. Transcendence going to be used on top of the payload. San Francisco looks like they will eventually be pushing back the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, it was close, but Shock came out ahead in the very end, and now just 35 seconds left in the time bank for Shanghai Dragons. And, you know, you don't see a lot of point A holds, you don't see a lot of point B holds either. They've got one last solid attack and a couple ults to use here.
All right, Undead now on the McCree. He knows that the Baby Bay has switched over to the Tracer, and he needs some presence on the payload itself to make sure that they're not going to get
Could be big.
run out of time here in overtime.
Undead goes down. Dak, though, does fall. Shusha finds the kill with the Diva. Now Nevix a little bit on his own. They need that Mercy. They needed Dak alive. Can Shanghai capitalize? Undead walking forward, finding a few shots here, trying to avoid those Zenyatta orbs. Nevix D-Mech. This is starting to look pretty good for Shanghai at the moment. And that payload may actually get there. Wow, Dak going down early was devastating.
It absolutely was, particularly when they actually did get an early pick to try and, with the Riptire, to try and help out on that defense. But Jusha comes up with the necessary kill, the more important kill onto the Mercy.
They
And
may
now in
try it
overtime, they're going to try and push into point C, but San Francisco is going to engage them first with the Supercharger.
Yeah, that's right. They've got the damage boost from Orisa. They take out Roshan first, gets rezzed. Now Baby Bay goes down, though, so not a lot of use out of that Orisa ultimate quite yet. Right, kill onto Roshan. He goes down for a second time, gets rezzed for a second time, and there's a Deadeye. Anything from it for Undead. Sleepy finding one. It is pretty even up, but Shock, with that Riptire, should be able to secure this one. They do, and San Francisco Shock come out on top on Junkertown.
Dante with the late cleanup Riptire was looking like Shock was going to have a numerical advantage in terms of players at the end of that fight regardless.
Yeah.
But still, just putting an exclamation point on the end of that one as San Francisco puts on a very tenacious defense on point A and B.
Sure enough. Well, a solid start for San Francisco Shock. And some puzzling moments for Shanghai, but we'll see what they can do in map number 2, guys. We'll be back with that right after this.
We got ready, but we go to Junkertown, guys. Our first map up.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP and by Intel. Shanghai Dragons.
We know there's a lot of talent on this team.
It's time to get this party started.
战队的目标应该是前3、前2左右吧。
加油，上海龙是最棒的，我们会得到自己所想要的成绩。
Shanghai Dragons getting their chance to attack,
causing Seoul a lot of anxiety.
The Shanghai Dragons have been making it happen.
期待的话，想跟那个，其实打过了吧。我个人是非常喜欢跟 Seoul。
Now the kills coming in for the Dragons.
And if there's a name that you need to know when it comes to Shanghai, it is Dia.
We all know how deadly this guy is.
CV 有一种就是能够击杀，就是快速击杀那种。我觉得我的天赋打 C 应该是最好的。
It's a nice target selection from the side of the Shanghai Dragons.
Now Undead holding the point.
I still have Shanghai in the top half of the league. There are some very talented players on this team that Shanghai is going to put on a nice display.
我觉得每个战队的目标应该都是想夺冠，但是我们还是要一步步来。
We are back, guys. Right now, San Francisco Shock up 1 game over the Shanghai Dragons, and no subs as we head into our second map. It's going to be our assault map, Horizon Lunar Colony, and the Shanghai Dragons, man. You know, coming into this season, coming into the preseason, we were kind of expecting a lot more from these guys. I would say they are the most puzzling team in the league right now.
Yeah, they are, and we know that there is talent on this roster. Obviously, you look at some standout performances by guys like Dia, but something's not clicking in terms of the teamwork right now. We look at them running strategies that we've seen many other teams run, and frankly, struggling with them at the moment. So maybe it's something that needs a little bit more time, but there isn't that same level of cohesion.
Yeah, that's right. Well, for now, let's check out another sounds of the game to hear what it was like at the end of that last round.
Nice. I got Diva Mikiso. I got send one. I'm firing in 1 sec. Okay, drop. Monkey. Give me your. I'm firing. Focus monkey. Okay, dead. Baby, come on, monkey. I got. Nice. Okay. Let's go, monkey, everybody. Nice. Let's go.
We need to keep it cool, guys. Everyone here is like too much excitement. Let's keep it cool. We're good.
I feel like we're hearing like a party song being written there. Let's go, monkey, everybody, yeah! That sounds like
and then Dak, you called me the hype killer. Dak is always the one. He's like, calm down, guys. There's too much excitement here. Keep it cool.
Unbind that emo key right now.
It's good to have an older leader like that on one of your rosters. So it's a guy who's he's played professionally in poker as well. So he's been around the world a few times. He knows when to hold him. That's right.
Hold him even? I don't know.
Hey, knowing when to fold him in Overwatch is actually very important. When you've lost that attack, go ahead, fold.
That's very
Wait
true.
for the next hand.
There's a lot of parallels there. So, here we go. Horizon Lunar Colony, our next map. Our assault map, of course. Take point E or B. What letter is it? Take point A. You get to take point B. Guys.
Joel forgot the alphabet there.
I don't know how the alphabet works.
Someone please tweet at Doa the English alphabet, please.
No trouble fitting that into Twitter at this point. Can you say something intelligent, please, to move this along?
Well, I don't know how much I've got here, Doa, because we haven't seen either of these teams play Horizon so far in the season. The Dragons did their closest map, and their last one was on Anubis on Assault.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they take here. Undead back on the Widowmaker, to the surprise of no one, and Freeview will be playing the Ana, so pretty long-range composition. Some nice shielding here from Roshan on Orisa, and
Nevix joining the 60% plus hook accuracy club.
Wow, that's a terrible name for that club.
It fills up a lot of space.
I could come
on
up with a really good name for that club, but I'm not sure I can say it on this broadcast.
Yeah, that's true. But I get what you're putting down.
But use your imagination.
That's right. Doesn't take much. Well, Shanghai Dragons on the defense once again. San Francisco Shock about to go in for their attack round. 3, 2, 1. Let's jam.
Got the Cowboy Bebop in there, I see.
That's right. Baby Bay on the Widowmaker, as you often see. Hiding around the corner here. Uh-oh, Dante.
That's what happens sometimes. You just get hit by those grenades.
Yep.
But luckily, there's a mercy in this game, so.
No, Nomi just body blocked a little bit, get the res.
No harm, no foul. So now they're going to wait for Dante to start flanking around the side, putting some pressure on. They are going to be having Baby Bay on the Genji. So dive composition here. They're taking a lot of damage from this Junkrat, though.
Yeah, taking a lot of time to make a move, too.
Nevix was desuited and killed.
Whoa, what? Okay, things have gotten a bit strange, everyone.
Yeah, it's been making it pretty easy for Shanghai, and now we have to see this Tracer just sit here and wait for Nevix to rejoin his teammates. They want to push him back to the point, so they're going to try and back cap it right now. That they force Shanghai to actually stop spamming that corner.
I think they're just trying to build up Dak's Valkyrie actually right now.
Yeah, it could be.
They keep putting Nomi out there to take damage that they're healing up.
I mean, you look at the difference.
He's got it now.
Yeah, 34% to 95, so you're right, Daw.
If this works, it would be hilarious. So it looks like they want to just go in with a very fast Valkyrie. Will it work though? No, Nevix desuited again. Taken down.
Valkyrie, they can let him die.
That's true. They do have time too. His altering is only halfway to his Valkyrie. Meanwhile, nearly one tick taken already on the point. In fact, they get one. Dante backcapping a little bit here.
Yeah, they decided not to use Valkyrie because they were actually getting progress on the point as it stood. And it was a little bit dangerous for Dak to move forward and try and resurrect Nevix.
This is one of the weirdest quality point days I've ever seen.
Very strange.
Yeah. All right. Well, now both Mercies basically have Valkyrie, altering nearly there at 95%.
Yeah, they didn't take care of. They didn't take any advantage of that window.
No. Well, I think they were trying to, but then Nevix got demeched again.
Yeah, but he also died, and I don't know. Very odd. But that window is gone now. Another trap is going to delay Babybay's progress, and
that hurts.
That'll be the end of his life. Undead also takes out Dak. During his Valkyrie.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. Dante's still on the point, though. They've got that control meter halfway filled up. It's not done yet. Just free firing onto Roshan here, who doesn't have a lot of support. Oh, but he manages to take him out with no health remaining. Now Nomi in that primal rage, looking for more victims, but Shanghai coming out on top of this fight, and he will fall in the end, and that's going to be a return to spawn for the Shock.
I mean, you have to like the idea from the San Francisco Shock, but the execution was just poor overall, and that means that they're not going to get any value. Great shot by Undead, you're right. But all that work to charge the Valkyrie, and you end up just trading Valks and losing the fight anyway.
Well, Shock has that Transcendence now. Got a couple ults they can maybe use coming into it. Oh, and Dak goes down again. Man, Undead has just been Dak hunting this entire round, and it's been a good hunt.
Yeah, it's been great for him. He's really come alive on Junkertown, and now on Horizon, and getting that supercharger to help him out with some of that damage makes it quite easy. Sleepy's going to be making his way back with a Transcendence, and they're going to have to rush the point with only 35 seconds remaining, and the problem is they have to rush. They have to just use the trance to get towards the point itself without taking damage, and right after that, Dia could just wait for them to get on the point and pop the Rip Tire.
He doesn't even necessarily need the wait. It goes right through trance. Does too much burst damage. They're going to go in now. We'll see what the plan is. Undead backing up again, taking a few hits here. Oh, a lot of hits actually. Tries to stay safe.
Dante get a fall to Shusha. We'll see if the Resurrection is going to follow up here.
Big shot onto Babybay. They're on the point now. There's a Transcendence. Roshan does go down, so San Francisco with a chance.
Rip Tire.
Oh, he gets two. That was a Rip Tire they were looking for. Now Sleepy coming around the side. What can he do? Not much. OT ticks away. And so San Francisco Shock with not a lot of progress in their attack round.
Solid defense there from the Dragons. They kept their cool, and they said, okay, San Francisco Shock, we'll just wait for you to come to us. And they didn't get baited into going back to the point either with the Tracer. They maintained their position and dealt with the Tracer after they had already gotten the necessary kills from the high ground position. So did it give up a point? Sure, yeah, it gave up a tick, but now all they have to do is get up to 49% of this point to go ahead and win on Horizon.
Well, that was an odd one. I think the assumption that they were trying to build a very fast Valkyrie is probably the correct one, since they did do just that, but in the process they lost so much and then were never able to capitalize on it. That seems like one that worked well in scrims, I'm guessing, and then kind of fell apart a little bit here.
Well, there were also several different ideas that were going on simultaneously. One of those ideas was to force them back off the point with the back cap attempt, but the rest of the team didn't have the necessary patience. If the Tracer's there, somebody has to go deal with the Tracer, and you wait for that in order to make your move.
Yeah.
It's not a simultaneous movement that you're trying to execute.
Well, as you can see, that little yellow tick, that little yellow triangle on the control meter is all that Shanghai Dragons needs to win this map and tie up this series. It's almost a freebie at this point. You very rarely see a point day on Lunar Colony not be taken to at least that degree.
Yeah, San Francisco is going to have an excellent defense.
Yep.
In order to make that a possibility. Looks like they will be running, it's basically a pick composition with Nevix and Dante trying to get the CC of the trap or the hook in and then finish off the kill very quickly.
Yep, solid high ground, hard point defense for San Francisco Shock. Here comes Shanghai Dragons running an interesting comp. Moira and also the
Undead on the Sombra. So they should be moving around probably the left side of this map eventually.
Wrong, they're on the right side.
We'll see what they do. Diaz heading over on the left side right now, and the rest of the team should be trying to make it around there. Dante does take Undead down with the help of a mine, so they have to wait for that.
Yeah.
But with the Sombra, you have an opportunity and the Moira to move several people with those dashes and invisibility around the side and try and take that over and make it tricky for the Shock to actually defend the point.
Well, lots of long, well thought out pushes here coming in from each of our teams. Undead clearing out some of the mines, some of the traps.
Okay, he's gonna take the mega health back, and now here comes the pressure on the actual point itself.
He's there trying to pull the defense back again, and that's exactly what they'll do. They can't afford to have people back tap when you only need half of the control meter to win.
Yeah, and look at that. He actually distracted them, so they got the rest of his team closed that gap into the room with a mega health pack. So very deliberate from Shanghai.
They're on there now. Freefield just trying to keep everybody alive on the Moira. Shusha taking a lot of damage, but still up there for the moment. Manages to get out.
Barely escapes.
And fade.
And now he's going to try and contribute to the point. Not a lot of high HP teammates to keep alive.
Oh, nice shot actually coming in. Baby Bay picks him off. Dia trying to finish Baby Bay now. They've nearly got it, and that control meter is building. This could just be it right here.
Yeah, it is, and Roshan's going to come back. Everybody's sprinting to the point right now that they're probably just barely going to make it, Sleepy, with the Moira to get there in time.
They're going to come in one by one, but that is it. Shanghai Dragons will tie this series up. That's a win on Lunar Colony for them.
It was actually, I enjoyed watching that strategy. Really interesting, because when Shanghai Dragons had that opportunity, they knew they only had to get half a tick. So as long as there was somebody always trying to put pressure down and back cap it, there wasn't any choice for San Francisco but to go back immediately.
Well, when you end in those really small control meter situations, there's a lot of ways to just kind of force that. And yeah, Shanghai Dragons doing a good job of adapting to the situation.
Yeah, cool strategy and very appropriate for the situation.
That's right. Well, we'll be back after just a little bit for halftime. Guys, don't go anywhere. The third and fourth maps coming up just after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel and Omen by HP. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are all tied up here in the Blizzard Arena. It's the final match of the day as the Shanghai Dragons are matching up against the San Francisco Shock. I'm your host, Chris Puckett. We're joined once again at the desk. We got Brendan Sideshow, the UK boys in the house, breaking it all down for us, and we're jumping in to map number 1. It's Junkertown, and we saw the attack coming in from San Francisco Shock first. They didn't make it to the 3rd point, and that's where I actually started to have some hope for the Shanghai Dragons team. They showed up strong on the back end, and Sideshow, before we get to the plays that stalled them out at the 3rd point, I want to open things up with Bren, because Bren, you pointed to me and you said, they're doing it again, the supports are messing up. But not only that, we also saw San Francisco Shock players starting to shine.
Yes, exactly. So we've got a wonderful little clip that really highlights some of the problems that Shanghai is facing. Thankfully, they seem to have cleaned it up in map 2, but this really does just highlight some of the issues that they've got going on with them. They end up, again, stacking up these support ults. You can see Altering ends up using a Valkyrie whilst the trance is going on. It does just fade, but not really using them to the full effect. And then Sleepy just absolutely goes ham. He's got that Orisa supercharger on the back, so he's damage boosted up. But look at this. This is just beautiful. If you guys haven't seen this already, nice little air shot. Then it just clipped off. It just tried to debate us a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't want you to see that one. You have to watch it live if you want to catch it. But honestly, it's awesome to see Sleepy given the opportunity to flex onto a bit of a Bastion here. This is a guy that we've seen play Ana, a whole lot of Zenyatta out of him. You highlighted this guy in his very first match. What do you think of his performance so far?
Well, I love, firstly, that Junkertown allows us to put these supports on these DPS positions. We've seen it a lot of times now. So far, Sleepy, I've been pretty impressed across the board. I feel like, again, this guy was an unknown quantity coming into the league. I gotta remind you of that because he hasn't played up onto a major stage like the Overwatch League before, and his performance has been very good for someone who's new to the scene.
Yeah, he has been very solid. He's got a very aggressive playstyle and good aim, so he's able to pick up tons of kills all over the place. When he was playing against LA Valiant, they did abuse his over-aggressive positioning a couple of times.
Okay.
But they tightened that up, and he's got just all the base mechanics down.
Let's talk about the Shock, though, because this is a team that's rolling, right? All of a sudden, you can't finish the final point. What issues were they running into?
Well, they had a couple of fights where they were trying to make pushes and they were stalled out, and again I think it comes down to their support ults a little bit, just being used in situations where they weren't planning to, they weren't taking the initiative. So if we take a look at actually Zushu, who was on the Diva, you can see that he had a couple of really key self-destructs, and here comes the first one, and that instantly forces out Sleepy's Transcendence and gets the pick onto Baby Bay. Here's another one, great little Diva tech. He's going to use his self-destruct at the top, drop it down, again forces out the Transcendence. And so by placing his self-destructs in such key locations, he forces the fight on their terms rather than San Francisco Shock.
And for some of the newer viewers out there, that last Diva bomb is actually very difficult to pull off. You have to drop your mech right on the edge of a ledge and then manually walk into it and push that baby down. He did it with perfect timing, got Nevix out of the mech, and after that, you saw Shanghai Dragons hold. On their attack, though, this squad looked totally flabbergasted. They had no idea how to break through the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, so
the Shock.
Yes, so a big part of this was actually Nevix, who we pointed out in the pregame as well, and hopefully we can bring up some statistics of his Roadhog play in particular, because I would like to once again point out a little stat that was pointed up and was thrown up whilst the game was actually live, was the fact that Nevix has now joined the elite Roadhog unit. Look at that hook accuracy again. He's now on 65%. Only 4 players in the Overwatch League have currently achieved over 60% hook accuracy. Pretty astounding stuff all around that we're seeing so much phenomenal Roadhog play coming out of a lot of these guys.
The big hookers, that's the club they're in right now, Brian. Let's move it on to game number 2 as we jump into the action that we saw on our second map. It's Horizon Lunar Colony, and normally we see a lot of successful pushes on point A, generally very fast. Not so much in this game, fellas. We never got a real attack on that second point.
Yeah, I love the setup that Shanghai Dragons were using, actually. It's very similar to what Shock were trying when they went against, in the preseason, they were running it and had great performances, where you have the Widowmaker set up down a sight line, easy picks on anybody that's trying to come in. They have to be really fast as they try to engage onto you, and that gives a load of room to the rest of the bulk of your team, because they know exactly where they're coming from and the timing of it as well. So I'm glad that we saw Undead step up on the Widowmaker and have much better performances than we've seen from him in previous matches, both in the preseason and in their first game against LA Gladiators. This guy needs to be a second threat alongside Dia, and by opening himself up and having such strong performances on hit scan, he's allowed Dia to go over to Junkrat, where he's also excelling.
I thought Altering did a fantastic job of staying alive. That was an issue he had on Junkertown. He rezzed almost everyone who fell, and we were looking at the numbers. After this incredible hold from Shanghai, it was 18 kills for Shanghai to just 6 for San Francisco. San Fran had no answer for that setup of defense. What issue did you see, Sideshow? What do they need to fix before they go back to Horizon in the future?
See, I'm not even so certain that it was something they need to fix, just something they need to change. So we've harped on about the one style that we've seen from San Francisco Shock so far, and if they had the ability, or if they've had the practice or the scrim time or whatever, to try stuff like the quad tank approach that we saw from Dallas Fuel, or trying routes through the left-hand side perhaps, or even running a Reinhardt Zarya kind of composition, these different looks could have cracked through that defense that Shanghai Dragons had, but it doesn't seem like they're too comfortable using that approach at the moment.
It's just simple stuff. I mean, this is a strategy they've ran before. They know how it works because they've used it against other teams and whatnot. It's just simple stuff like playing the point, learning how to break down these strategies, but like you mentioned, increasing the flexibility, increasing the amount of compositions that they can actually run with, just by playing more tanks, I guess, as well, because we've seen a lot of them with the Moira coming into effect as well. Will just do wonders for them.
We highlighted some players that are playing better today, but I do want to call out the guys that need to step up if their team wants to finish this match on top. Who are you looking at? Pick one individual.
Generally, we need to see more team cohesion and timing from these guys, and so I'm looking at the DPS players who on San Francisco Shock to perhaps not take such aggressive positions and wait for their tanks to establish themselves before they move in. Because we saw Undead and Dia get a lot of solo picks, when if San Francisco Shock were perhaps a little more cohesive and a bit more patient, they'd be able to take easier entries into these.
Brent, what are you looking for in the second half?
Supports from Shanghai, mainly Free Feel. I feel like Altering had a decent performance in the second map, but Free Feel still needs to just catch up a little bit to his compatriot.
All right, those are our players to look out for in the second half. We still have 2 more games to go. When we return, we'll find out who's going to take the lead. We're going to Ilios on the other side of this break. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Shanghai Dragons will go ahead and win that attack round. And San Francisco Shock, they will take the series as well. Just a really, really well executed push by Shanghai Dragons here. San Francisco got some kills. What a start. Dia still causing a lot of trouble. Baby Bay has just been on fire. Oh. We are back, guys. San Francisco Shock tied with the Shanghai Dragons, 1 map apiece. Both teams getting their first map win of Overwatch League in this match right now.
And now we're going to see Ilios, with which both of these teams have played previously.
They're probably both praying at this point, too.
Praying for a win.
Well, they both got one. Yeah,
one of them's going to get it at the end of this match, but it will be Ilios. And I like the fact that we're seeing at least more projectile DPS play from the Shanghai Dragons this time. They're not relying so much on the double hit scan. I think that's opened them up to some new strategies, as we've seen, and Undead having a much, much better day today.
Yeah, you know, we talked about this a little bit already. Undead is a player that they really were relying a lot on coming into the season, and he hasn't delivered until that last map, or until the last couple maps anyway, and he's finally becoming the player they always wanted him to be. He's evolving. It's like the Metapod has become the Butterfree.
Is that the analogy you're going to use?
That's the only one I never use,
Pokemon.
Monte Cristo. Who's that Pokemon? It's Undead. Is that a type? I don't think so, actually. Maybe.
I'm not actually sure.
Huh.
An undead type. How many zombie Pokemon are there?
I don't know. Research to do over the weekend, I guess. We are getting ready to go on Ilios here. Both of these teams, the shot to take this match. There's a big difference between starting the season 0-2 and starting the season 1-1.
Sure is, and we are going to see Baby Bay on the Pharah one more time. His Pharah play has been, it's been interesting. Some of the, while he's not ulting, he's actually been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But some of his ults, he seems to panic at times and ults at the last second.
Yeah.
Or too early. Or too early. The timing's been a little bit off, so we'll see if he's tweaked some of his plays. Now, San Francisco Shock did win this point Lighthouse against the Valiants in their first match.
True enough. Baby Bay, a big contributor to that on this Pharah. See what he can do right now against the Shanghai Dragons. Oh, that's a good start. Undead falls early, walked right into that rocket.
And that was actually really well done by Baby Bay. So what he did there was he knocked the Mercy away with the concussive mine, which gave Nomi an opportunity to jump on top of the body of the McCree and make sure that there wasn't going to be a resurrection. So that'll be an easy first take for the San Francisco Shock.
No kidding, that was smooth as butter, man.
Yeah, look at that. You can see Baby Bay on your screen there having a laugh.
No kidding.
After the quick pickoff, Undead trying to control him in the air, and he's playing very far back. And
that's a long range to take out a Pharah with McCree.
Yeah.
You're not going to be doing a lot of damage, even if you make those hits.
No, it's just slowing him down a little bit, as much as they can, and they're going to try and get onto the point. Baby Bay drops down and will end Dia.
Just dropped by to steal that kill. Mine.
Well, they thought they were having an honorable one-on-one battle, though, but that wasn't the case. And there just wasn't any support for Dia on the point from the rest of the Dragons. The shield had already been dropped from Roshan's Winston.
Now the dive comes in from the Dragons, trying to get on the point. Dante does go down early. Dragons on the offensive. They've got the numbers advantage for the moment. Nevix in the background here. They're trying to get onto Undead. They denied the ultimate. Nomi did fall anyway, though. Brought back up by Sleepy, of course. And now Baby Bay going to work. There's an opportunity for a barrage. Well, he gets altering anyway. It was a
altering, and he gets res.
It.
Maybe he can finish off some of these other kills. Oh, there comes the... Oh dear. He's trying to hide from the self-destruct. Is successful in his endeavor. Dante remains on the point with Dak on this Lucio.
Oh, that health pack. Tracer got it just in time, and Dia's able to stay alive with that one.
Yeah, point still hasn't flipped though, so throughout this entire engagement, it's been the Shock in control and pushing things up past 75%.
That's right, Baby Bay getting a lot of ult percent built up. Nice D-Mech, air to air onto Shishu's mech. Gonna get taken out with the Battle Mercy though, altering, returning and helping Shanghai Dragons flip this point.
But the delay was excellent from the Shock, and Undead, even though he will have the Deadeye to use on this attack, both teams really running each other out of ultimates, which means with the board reset, there's gonna be a lot of opportunities for the San Francisco Shock to get back into this game and complete the point on Lighthouse.
All right, now they have to hold it. Quite a bit behind in control percent. They've got a shot. Oh, and that's one way to handle the Mercy in the air.
Yeah, Sleepy couldn't get out of line of sight in time. Undead now starting to pop off on the McCree.
I'm telling you, man, today is Undead's day. He has been doing great all 3 maps already, and they need that.
Absolutely picking up his game and making the Dragons more competitive. Dante remained alive. He's still back towards the spawn of Shanghai, as you can see, and Free-Feel gonna be on the flank. He's gonna encounter Dante right away. Dante's gonna take him out. Now there's no Mercy to go back and res him. Now they're collapsing from the flank.
Yep, that's right. Another barrage comes in. Nice shot onto Dante there by Undead. Baby Bay does get the kill onto Shishu though, on that Diva. Now it's time for Dia to find that pulse bomb. He's got an opportunity here, maybe, yeah, throws it in. Does he get anything? No, not quite with it.
Got eaten, I think, by Nevix's Diva.
Maybe did.
And at the start of that was really Dante playing super well. He was very patient, and he waited for the Zenyatta to fall back towards his own spawn, got into a 1v1, immediately killed him, and then at that point there wasn't a great opportunity for Altering to go back and resurrect. San Francisco collapses on the point. And Nevix,
from downtown!
That's so huge. You get the Valkyrie out.
Yeah, Nevix 2 with that self-destruct. That makes Dak's life easier on the point. He's got that sound barrier, gonna go ahead and use it. Try to keep his team up.
Got all 6, actually.
Yeah, not bad. Oh, great poop, actually, from Dak. Gets him out of the point. OT ticking away. Not a lot of members of Shanghai Dragons left to contest this. The res does come in onto Roshan, though. So one last-ditch effort coming in, but looks like it's gonna be all San Francisco Shock here at the end of Lighthouse. That is it. They will claim the first point on Ilios.
Looking pretty dominant, too. I mean, they pushed it up really far in terms of percentage right off of their first push, and some heroics from Undead kept the Dragons in it, but ultimately the point goes over to the Shock, and it will be Ruins as our next point. So some more time for Baby Bay and Undead to show off their skills on that Widowmaker.
That's right. And here,
just taking a look at
earlier there.
Yep, that's a nice.
It's a great self-destruct.
Yeah, shot over the top of the building. Not a good way to see that one coming or avoid it.
Yeah. True enough. We talked a little bit about Dante, but I'm really liking the way this guy's tracer play is improving, because he was mechanically good that we saw in the preseason, but he kept finding himself too far away from his team. He would dive too deep, get too far out of position, and I think he's fixed a lot of those positional issues here in the season.
Yeah,
we were showing the strength of that on that last round.
We'll see how his play progresses as the season goes on. And Undead here on the Widowmaker in the duel with Baby Bay right now. San Francisco pushing around the side of the point, and Nevix will demech his Diva opponent, and Undead tries to take another line.
That's right. They're going to grab the point first. San Francisco Shock in the lead once more. Oh, he gets to the health pack just in time, but even double the health is not enough to save him from death.
Well, both tanks simultaneously jumping on top of the Widowmaker.
Yep.
He had his position down, and he was outside the line of sight for Baby Bay, but the tank's already on that high ground. It makes it quite easy to finish off the kill when they have already lost a player. So
Baby Bay versus Undead. The duel of Widowmakers has begun. Let's see who comes out on top. Baby Bay searching for those shots on the side. Well, Roshan coming in. Nomi helps take him down. Oh, but there's a snipe from Undead. Brings Roshan back, so Shanghai Dragons making a big move on the point right now. Nevix maybe turning it around. No, can't get anyone with that self-destruct. Noma, on the other hand, does take down Shishu.
All the resurrects have now been used by both of the Valking Mercies, so it's up for grabs. Who's going to be able to take this point at the end? Altering already out of that Valkyrie mode, and we see the Transcendence healing everybody up on the side of the Shock.
Yep, holding strong on the point for now, nearing 60%. Altering taken out by Dante. Good start. Nevix coming through with another kill. And they're going to hold. Shanghai Dragons used everything to try to take the point there.
Yeah, on the plus side, they are going to have a Transcendence for their next attack, but this one has to work if they want to stay alive here on Ilios.
Yeah, it really does. It's getting to the point where maybe they have one last desperation push if this one doesn't work, but it's getting to be panic mode time for Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, it's just about stalling them until they have to use the Transcendence just to get on the point right now. Any little bit of delay that can be bought by the San Francisco Shock is going to serve them well.
And Roshan down already. Transcendence force out for free field. They did get him to use it early, trying to get towards the point, but they can't quite do it. Oh, there's a pulse bomb. No kills. It got eaten. That's right. Dante on the point. Roshan falls again. So this attack from Shanghai just never really got started here on Ruins.
And no, it didn't. I mean, that's it. All there's going to be. They've just got to clean this one up. Dante finds Undead in the back line. There comes the D-suit. Transcendence back up once again for Sleepy.
Welcome to Dante's Inferno. Nobody's touching him on Ruins here. Yeah. OT ticking away, and that is a clean 2-0 for San Francisco Shock.
Well, that's what they say. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Very true, yep.
Onto the Ruins. So Shock bouncing back after a tough horizon to take the lead in this series 2-1.
Yeah, that means just one map left. A chance for Shanghai Dragons to tie up this series and send us to that OT map on Lijiang Tower. San Francisco with the opportunity to win it with 3-1. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll see who triumphs. Don't go anywhere. This is Overwatch League.
Let's go, baby!
We got this.
Let's go!
We actually get it.
Okay. All right,
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel and Omen by HP.
Hello and welcome back once again. We're about to head into map number 4, but before that, I want to bring it back a little bit to the performance from San Francisco Shock earlier in this week. San Francisco Shock unfortunately lost against the Valiant. It was a crushing defeat, 4-0, but After that game, they were actually visited by Major Leaguer and former MVP Ryan Howard, who gave them some words of wisdom. He sat down with the team and talked to them, from one professional athlete to some others, that they need to be more patient. They need to let the game come to them, and you know, just play their best, not get too emotional. So let's see how that will pay off in map number 4. Hope you guys are ready. I certainly am. So for all the action, let's head back to our casters, Monte Cristo and Doa.
Thank you, Zoe. I think they may have taken that patience thing a little bit too seriously on Lunar Colony, but aside from that, good job, San Francisco Shock. They are ahead in this series 2-1 over Shanghai Dragons right now, and we are going to Numbani to see if they can close it out with a 3-1 victory, or if we get that tiebreaker map on Lijiang Tower. We find out soon. As soon as the map loads, Monte Cristo.
That's right. Shock did struggle on attack on Numbani when they played against the Valiant. They made it about halfway through point B before getting shut down. It's rare for us to see teams successfully defend in point B, so a bit of an oddity there, but they're going to have to look to tighten up their play so they can make a longer push.
Well, as this series has gone on, we've seen two big things that stand out. We've seen San Francisco, I think, elevate their play overall, and we've also seen Undead get better on an individual level. And I don't think that individual performance improvement is enough to counter the entire team of San Francisco.
Yeah, it's hard too, because it really did, after watching the preseason, when we looked particularly at Sleepy, who was picking up a lot of kills, and as a rookie player, playing his first few matches on stage ever, he was performing quite well, but soon really had his number against the Valiant. He died a lot more in that particular series, but he seems to have gotten it together, thought out his play once again, and he is not getting punished quite so hard tonight.
All right, well, time for the Shanghai Dragons to set up their defense here on Numbani. They would really like to get a win in this league. A lot to prove for this team. A lot of hype surrounding them coming into the league, and hype that just hasn't been delivered on quite yet.
Yeah, free field back on the Ana, so very standard defense for the Shanghai Dragons. We'll have free field and Undead on the far side, or the high ground, waiting for people to go ahead and dive them, or try and capture the points so they get some free shots from above. And Shock, obviously not going to be running with this particular composition. We'll see what they end up changing to.
I don't think they're going to have Dante on Lucio. That would surprise me a bit. Probably going to swap over the Tracer as usual here. And Baby Bay on the Pharah. Okay, so they are going to go with the Pharah attack here on Numbani. Yeah, there's Dante on the Soldier. Not the Tracer, but a very normal pick to see here on Numbani attack.
All right, they should be rotating all the way around the left side of the map with this composition.
Yep, there they go.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Some people will be trying to take the high ground. The Pharah will go all the way past to deal some damage across the point. He's going to run into Dia immediately.
Yeah, that's right. Roshan having to jump off the high ground right away. Boyd getting shot, altering, exposing himself. Ooh, that Helix rocket nearly found its mark here. That was dangerous. They've got that high ground for the moment. Can they dislodge Dante? He's got that biotic field for a few more seconds. Expires now. Nomi does go down, though. So Shanghai Dragons with an opportunity. And they're going to take it. Shishu coming in, taking down both Sleepy and Dante. Great start. So as Baby Bay fires from the side, the rest of his team falls.
Yeah, Baby Bay is going to try and back off right now. He's getting healed up by the Mercy, so trying to build up some ultimate charge and stay alive while he waits for the remainder of his teammates to join the team. They finally were able to regroup on the far side. They should be safe.
That's right. You need to be a little bit careful if you're Baby Bay in that position. You don't want to get your spawn staggered if you get picked off way after the rest of your team. But he manages to stay alive.
Shishu's been on the edge of getting D-Max this entire game, but just barely sticking around thanks to the healing of altering and free feel.
Self-destruct used by Nevix. Got back in the mech just in time. Now the Primal Rage comes in for Roshan, just keeping everybody bottled into that corridor as Baby Bay looks for more shots. Ooh, that's dangerous, man. Attack Visor comes out for Dante. Can't quite fire through everything, though. And now the Transcendents are going to try to use that to get onto the point.
But really the impressive thing is San Francisco survived the nano-boost attack visor on the opposite side. The positioning wasn't great. So Dante now trying to clean this one up. Nomi and his tank Nevix still on that point. Dante can't quite survive even through the heal station.
That's right, Nevix, D-Mac watching the rest of his team fall here. And with Nomi not lasting too much longer, that should be it. Yeah. San Francisco Shock starting over from spawn.
Yeah, Shishu's been doing very well this match so far. He's been the main driver coming up onto the high ground and denying a lot of damage, as well as taking out some of the squishier members of San Francisco Shock. Baby Bay will be on the Soldier now, so they are changing up the strategy. Soldier Tracer, as Dante switches off onto the Tracer. So this is going to be, again, more of a poke style of composition that we see, trying to soften people up so the Tracer can finish them off.
Here's the dive on the high ground. Freefield goes for a sleep guard before diving back to the low ground. He's trying to stay alive. Not sure if that one connected, but either way, it kept him alive. And that's the important thing. First stick taken, though. Nevix with 2 on that self-destruct puts that Diva ultimate to work. And Shanghai short-handed. And I think San Francisco is going to take advantage of that. That's 2 ticks already. And there's a nano boost. They're going to give it to Undead. Wow, he's going for it, man. That is a bold move. And that is not going to pay off. I don't think you use a nano boost right there.
Yeah, no way.
Rough.
Yeah, your Freefield may be trying to switch off onto another hero.
I think you have to now.
Yeah, Undead at least got some percentage from using the extra damage from that nano boost, but ultimately not very effective. Baby Bay's going to be coming back into this fight with a tactical visor of his own.
Yep.
And this is where we saw the San Francisco Shock run out of gas against the Valiant, but they have plenty of time to keep on pushing here, and pretty sizable ultimate advantage.
And with all those ults, they've got a couple spare tanks of gas as they get this push going. Roshan low as he dives in. And nice capitalization on that Orb of Discord from Sleepy. Tops the Transcendence, but Shishu takes out 2 with the self-destruct. Shanghai storming in to push San Francisco all the way back to spawn.
Yeah, they are, and that was a massive play considering that the Transcendence had already been committed. So Shishu again continues to be the star for the Shanghai Dragons on Numbani. And that will force a regroup at the moment. We'll be coming back with a Valkyrie.
Ooh, Dia taken out by that Helix rocket from Baby Bay. So short-handed are the Dragons as Shock comes in to get this payload moving again. Roshan getting low. He got the nano boost, so can he stay alive? Sleepy falls, Dak brings him back again. And Nevix finds Altering in the side room. Oh, he barely gets away though. That was a close call, but the rest of his team doing just fine. And that payload's moving.
Yeah, Baby Bay still holding onto this tack visor. Dak had to use the Valkyrie in order to continue that push as the pickoffs happened early.
Right.
But Shanghai going to be looking to come back. Freefield's still on this Ana. Keeps on using that nano boost, trying to help out Roshan, and now he's going to swap. Usually you see that a little bit sooner, but his ultimate charge has been in a place where it was pretty easy for him to continue using that hero, or made it at least difficult in his mind to switch off.
Right. All right, Nevix tosses in the self-destruct, just trying to zone enough for them to get point B. Doesn't work though, Shanghai coming in anyway. Primal Rage for Roshan, trying to pave the way for his team to come in. The Baby Bay's right there with the tack visor. Gets that kill. Dante follows it up with a pulse bomb onto Shishu. And if they can dislodge the Tracer, they do. Dia goes down. They should be able to end it. Altering taken out by Sleepy, who frags out with another kill on Dia, and that's point B and then some for Shock.
Oh, that is actually going to really sting for the Shanghai Dragons, because the Valkyrie was not going to be enough there in any case to stop them from going ahead and taking point B, and now they're going to have to give up ground here on point C as well. Especially with Dak and Sleepy both approaching their ultimate. This is a chance for San Francisco Shock to play slow and just push this all the way home.
Got a little bit of time to work with. Oh, Baby Bay is gonna have a little bit of time to think about what to do with the rest of their attack here. Dia takes him down. Dante is trying to build up that pulse bomb at the moment. Nevix trying to escape. They gotta back away. Too many people, too low health, but Nomi says, no way, I'm going back in with the Primal Rage.
Wow, that tank
play,
on his own though. That tank play left a lot to be desired.
I don't know about that.
They were not pushing forward onto the payload, and then had to use that, and Sleepy just gets left behind.
You're Zenyatta, and you can only float so fast, man. It gets rough. Dak's there with the res. They're gonna try to come in with the tranquility on both sides. Zenyatta ultimate's coming out. There's the poke. Oh, Dante blows himself up. He does get the D-Mech on the Shishu, but at what cost?
Shishu flew back onto him, actually, after it wasn't his fault. Dante was trying to blink away.
Ooh.
Baby Bay snipes Freefield with a Helix rocket.
Icy rockets coming up from Baby Bay, and there's the tack visor. Celebration firing into the air as they will finish it. That's 3 points for San Francisco Shock.
wildly firing into the air like a true American.
Get off my lawn!
A minute and 6 seconds left for the San Francisco Shock.
Not bad.
Could have been cleaner on that attack onto point C, but they make it work and still keep some time for themselves in the bank.
Dante's like, I got blown up with my own bomb.
It wasn't his fault, though. The Diva flew into him after he planted it.
Feel any better, Monty. You're still looking at that respawn timer.
Yeah, still a bummer, but you know what?
Right.
Rest of his teammates pushed the payload all the way through to the end. So it didn't end up mattering. And
it's like, hey, Sleepy, did you see Dante get blown up with the bomb?
I'm looking for the part where we do the player communications, but it's just you dubbed over all of the players.
I know what they're all saying. Look, I got this. Shanghai Dragons going to be going on the attack here. They've got to finish the map to push it into the time bank round, or they will lose this series to San Francisco Shock. It all comes down to this for the Dragons in their second match here in the Overwatch League.
Dia looks like we'll be playing that Pharah Undead now on the Soldier 76, so very similar style of composition. What we saw initially from San Francisco Shock on the attack, likewise, same comp from the Shock. We'll also be running Sleepy on the Ana.
All right. So, Sleepy.
Yeah, 7 final blows. That's more of the style of performance we expected from Sleepy.
This guy finds the picks.
Yeah,
I mean, he's new, but he is definitely memorable. And that wall doesn't
drawing
need any
smiley
heal.
faces on the wall with his
Nice guy.
trank darts, I guess you could call them.
It's only like
Healing darts, poison darts, whatever they are.
3 million per dart, knowing the defense budget these days. What a waste.
But now the wall is happy, Della.
There you go. It's feeling good. Shanghai Dragons trying to come in from the left side here. They're going to try to take the high ground. You grab this first, then you try to make it across the other side. Maybe Dia can get a good concussion grenade and push people off. We'll see. Roshan under fire here.
Dante just poking away right now. Has to be really careful because he's playing at mid-range against Undead Soldier. Nice biotic grenade actually onto the tanks.
Ah, that was a big one. That hit a lot of people here. Undead has to back away. That biotic field didn't end up getting him a whole lot. They are on the point though. Dante does demek Shishu. A Diva, not a concern anymore. Or Shock on this defense anyway.
Here we go. Go in and just instantly get fried on that high ground.
Oh no me. Another kill for Undead. Dante taken out as well. Nevik slow help. There's attack visor just to secure this one. And this looks like it's going to be a pretty quick point A for Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, that's going to be the Shock falling very far back on this map. Shanghai Dragons trying to create as much room as they can pushing forward, but Dante's positioning there, he just wasn't going to be able to do anything from that angle. He had gotten himself all the way back into the corridor closest to the Shanghai Dragon spawn. And there's no way you can contest the Soldier at that range, doing a very small amount of long-range damage.
Very true. The tanks in the front, already paving the way. Ooh, for an easy kill on the Baby Bay there. Dak uses the res, of course. Oh, barrage coming in. Dia, death from above. Indeed, he did get the kill onto the Ana, but I don't know if that was quite worth it. Didn't get a lot otherwise.
Well, they're going to commit the Valkyrie to it, at least to get the resurrections back up. Dia's still in trouble, though. Has to dodge around the far side and taking still quite a bit of damage from the hit scan players of the Shock.
Yeah, neither one of those ultimates really got the payload going. And they're going to get pushed back for the moment either way. Still a scramble. And finally now, Shanghai starting to grind this one out a little bit. They've got to worry about the attack visor from Baby Bay, though.
And Roshan's still there with the Primal Rage at the front line. He absorbed most of that Soldier 76 ultimate.
Yep.
And he's actually going to live. Wow. All down to about 50 HP, and there he goes, Dante.
Thanks for the caster curse, Monty.
That's just how you do it, you know?
Yep.
As a caster, gotta accidentally get some players killed by cursing them sometimes.
But is it an accident? That's what everyone's wondering now. I'm getting suspicious. Now they're pushing forward anyway. Shanghai with one ult to work with at the moment. Undead on the run. Gotta get that health back. There's Nomi. He gets the nano boost. There's the Primal Rage. Attack visor used at the same time. Oh, jumps onto Shishu though. There's one. At the end of the day though, that payload was still moving. It did have some progress. It's getting a lot more now.
That is, Nomi trying to stay alive just by hiding around the corner here. Will have to dive back out towards his Mercy as the Shock retreat.
Yep. Shanghai has done a good job of sending out Jishu and Roshan ahead of everyone else to kind of keep the payload moving smoothly, but Babybay turning this one around now with the attack visor. How many can he get? Nevix finding Dia there. A lot of shots in the Primal Raging Winston, but Roshan says no to the Soldier ult. Now Nevix, there's a sleep dart. They woke him up right away though. Roshan not spending much time in Dreamland as that payload stalled for the moment, but it's nearly at the end of point B.
These fights have been chaotic, altering with the later Valkyrie, but the less effective one as they are pushed back towards their spawn. And for now, the San Francisco Shock will hold 2.5 minutes. There's still plenty of time for the Dragons to make it all the way to the end of the map. But the commitment was pretty huge there to rely on Undead to make a big play. And Sleepy waiting with that nano boost, so charging up Nomi in that front line should provide a pretty significant distraction.
Yep. I think that's been wise. Obviously, the Winston, generally the one receiving that nano boost. It's the way you do it. Biotic grenade goes in there, gets eaten though by Shishu. Still gets demeched anyway. Gonna pop that self-destruct. Ooh, oh, he gets two. Babybay and Sleepy somehow caught with that one. Oh, and Shanghai gonna steamroll the rest of San Francisco Shock. That's point B.
Sleepy didn't want to necessarily commit the nano boost when the tank was so low, couldn't heal him up fast enough to get him back into the action, and now he's just going to abandon it altogether and go over to the Zenyatta. I think sometimes you just have to bite the bullet, sacrifice the ultimate for the better hero. He's been getting jumped quite a lot and hasn't had the biggest effect on that. Dante!
Oh!
Dearly gets up. Nice little trap there set by the Dragons, trying to punish.
Surprised he escaped there. Whoa, he escaped and got a bit of revenge even. Both supports taken out with that pulse bomb. And now Dia fighting for his life on the payload. Not gonna work. And Shock not deterred at all by losing that last fight. They are back.
Well, Dante saw them, and when they didn't kill him in that very small room, he saw an opportunity to make the big boom in the room. And that's going to take out both of those supports as we look at Dante coming in. And
big boom in the room becomes Shanghai's 2.
He finds both supports. I mean, they're not even looking at him. You have to pay attention, but there's no escape there. There's a self-destruct on one side and the pulse bomb on the other.
Yep. All right, that payload getting pushed a bit by Shanghai Dragons now. Down to 2 minutes in the time bank. Nomi diving in. Nevix waiting. Buying time here, protecting Babybay as he gets that kill onto Dia. Transcendence used on the side by Freefeel. A little bit too late to save Dia, who does get res though, so it's okay.
All right, Tactical Visor will be held by Babybay as Undead unloads his.
Yep.
Get some more movement for the payload. Minute 40 left, Shanghai.
Ooh, they're gonna pull way back now.
Altering, use the Valkyrie right now, so they're trying to get as much progress as they can, but this is going to deplete them if they are somehow stopped.
Yeah, so this is a fight that Shock needs to win right now. They waited for the Valkyrie, they let the progress happen. Now they have to win. Babybay with the attack visor finds Roshan in that little room. He can't jump out. Can they finish him off? Oh, we can! That's a good start here. Meanwhile, the rest of his team following it up with some more kills. And 1 minute remaining now for Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, good patience from the Shock too.
Yeah,
they fell back and didn't use the Valk, didn't use the Transcendence, waited for them to kill the Primal Raging Winston, knowing the payload couldn't make it all the way to the end. And now they are in a prime position to go ahead and win their first match of the season.
Yeah, this map and this match are Shock's to lose right now. They have control, they have the ultimates. With some really heads-up defensive play here.
It's everything you want. 2 support ults and a stalling ult in the form of that self-destruct.
Now Freefeel.
He dies!
Down. Sleepy gets brought back up again. Nevix in there. He's got that self-destruct if he needs to use it. Nice kill. Can he get more out of it though?
Support's communicating well.
Oh, nice.
Sleepy died, didn't use the Transcendence, instead just let Dak res him and realized they were going to win. So even if there's a desperation push right now, they've got the self-destruct still to hold people off the payload. They're gonna have to touch it on this next push, and it's gonna be very difficult to do that.
They're probably gonna have the Primal Rage too, Shanghai Dragons. Desperation mode now. Dante lives, there's a pulse bomb. It's a zoning ultimate, San Francisco Shock coming in. Shanghai, they need to make this push work if they want to keep this series alive. Dante firing away. Here comes the attack visor from Undead. Roshan does fall, so that's one tank not protecting their soldier anymore. And Nomi gets him.
Get on the payload right now.
That's right, you gotta stop it. It's getting so close here. Dante kind of on his own here. Everybody backing away. Here comes Nomi. Can he stay on the payload long enough, though, for everybody to get back? Sleepy on the side. Now he's got the healing. Oh, Doc went a little bit too deep and got taken down, but Baby Bay there with the attack visor. Maybe the soldier ultimate has been enough. Pulse Bomb comes in, takes on Chishu right after he gets out of the back, and Undead trying desperately to live here on the soldier. Lives for a surprisingly long time, but it's not enough. And San Francisco Shock hold, and they will win this series 3-1.
And they had all the tools at the end in order to pull that off. Good discipline with their ultimates for the Shock to make sure they were going to have that hold, especially just keeping control over their support ultimates and over that self-destruct.
That last round from San Francisco Shock, I mean, if you are a San Francisco fan, that should be more encouraging than anything else you've seen this season from them. That was just very patient, very heads-up play, and it paid off big time. Great execution. They did what they needed to do. That's right, and for more on breaking down that match, let's send it back to the desk and see what they've got to say.
Thank you so much, fellas. First off, can we give it up for the San Francisco Shock one more time? And of course, big round of applause for Monty and Doa. Let's break down the action, starting with Game 3. We ended halftime with the Shanghai Dragons taking our second map, the Assault map. It was tied up one apiece, and it led into Control, and this is really where you start to generate some momentum. And before we jump into what the San Francisco Shock was doing well to win that map, we do want to highlight some improvements from the Shanghai Dragons. Sideshow, kick it off for us.
Yeah, I've got a replay here that shows some of the signs of life that Shanghai Dragons had. And you can see as I pop it up, we are starting this one pause because I just want to demonstrate the positioning of a couple of players. You've got Undead over here, and he has used his ultimate. He is in Deadeye form, and so everybody on San Francisco Shock has to deal with him. So the tank line down here are going to move up towards Undead, and they are going to be trying to focus him and take him out of the picture. What you'll also see is that the Diva player from Shanghai Dragons is going to loop around, and Dia are both going to collapse and try and take out these tanks instantly. So if you play this one forward, you'll see that as the tanks dive on, here comes the collapse from Shanghai Dragons. With a Discord target onto Nomi, the two tanks here are being completely focused. Undead is being kept alive by both the heals from Altering and the Harmony Orb from Free Feel, and these tanks get busted down very quickly. And I think that this really shows signs of life for Shanghai Dragons because they're able to set up that play and have the forward thinking to be able to know what San Francisco Shock are going to do to react to it and then burst down those tanks. So these are the signs of life.
That team cohesion is starting to come together. I do want to pause for a moment, give a shout out to everyone that is watching at the party over in San Francisco. I've seen you on Twitter. It looks like a big madhouse out there. Bren, real quick though, let's talk about the Shock. Why did they win that map 3?
Yeah, so I don't want to harp on too much about the DPS players, but it was the DPS players. Baby Bay and Dante, once again, had wonderful mechanical skill, and it really translated into the numbers as well. Baby Bay ended up with 15 eliminations, only 3 deaths to his name. Again, all around great stuff, but Dante was really the star of these last 2 maps. Ended up with 25 eliminations, and once again, 3 deaths as well onto Ilios, which is really just outstanding numbers all around.
All right, really quickly, we're going to hit Numbani as we close out the show. Let's go ahead and start rolling the highlights. This is Shock. They're already on match point. Here's their opportunity to seal the deal. And Monty and Doa were saying, you know, they should be proud of their performance. I felt like Shanghai, they gave them a good run for their money, but Shock really showing some strong patience and overall chemistry.
Absolutely. Shanghai Dragons did look improved over their previous performances, setting up some nice plays with Shushu's Diva bombs as well. But San Francisco Shock were patient, and as Bren was saying, they had this dual threat coming from Baby Bay and Dante. We saw an improved performance, I think, from Dante throughout this series that meant that even when the Shanghai Dragons were putting a lot of pressure on Baby Bay, they still had a lot of punch to work with, and Nevix had a great performance as well. So this is a San Francisco Shock team that should be proud of their performance in this game and has a foundation to build off throughout the season, as even before Sinatra and Super come back into the roster.
The Shock gets their first big win, so I feel it's only fitting that we crown our player of the match, sponsored by Omen coming by HP. It's going to a shock DPS player, and it's not Baby Bay. Dante went big today, and he did it on a number of heroes. My favorite to watch was the Tracer, but he got it all started with the Junkrat back on Junkertown.
Yeah, he definitely did. And as I was saying, this dual threat performance, and Brent, you were referencing his statistics from Ilios as well.
Absolutely, yeah. He really turned up, had a huge performance on this. Not only at map 4 as well. Map 4, he went absolutely ham on them. 6 deaths to his name on that map alone as well. Huge part of why San Francisco Shock were a big threat today against Shanghai Dragons when they were looking much better as well. And you can see in his various highlight reels, he was flexing onto the Junkrat earlier as well. I like to see this. I like to see San Francisco Shock starting to experiment a little bit more outside of their comfort zone.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, I think overall as well, the positive for San Francisco Shock is that they had slightly better ult economy towards the end of at the end of Numbani. They were setting up their plays nicely, and so even their macro play, even how they're using these support ultimates was improved over the beginning, where we highlighted some misplays and errors there.
All right, let's take a look at the overall day. As you saw the stats there for Dante, we looked at our schedule coming in, and we knew we were going to have some good matches. No one predicted the first match of the day was going to be as good as it was. If you joined late in the show, make sure you go back and watch the VODs of the LA Valiant versus the Dallas Fuel. Yes, it was a 3-0, but probably the most exciting 2 games that we saw ever in a first half. It's going to be tough to beat that one. Boston was able to get the upper hand over the Florida Mayhem, and you just saw the Shock take down the Shanghai Dragons for their first win of the regular season. As we look at the big picture, though, here are your league standings. It's the LA Valiant up top at 2-0. Gladiator still 1-0. You got Excelsior, Spitfire, Fusion, and Dynasty all at 1-0. And those are the squads we are going to see tomorrow. 5 of our 6 teams are undefeated. And I have to ask you guys, what are you most pumped for? We're starting with London and Philly at 11 a.m., but it gets better as the day goes on.
Yeah, for me personally, it's got to be that London-Philly matchup. I mean, I'm a London Spitfire fanboy. I'm not going to deny that, being from the region myself. But Philadelphia showed massive improvements over what we saw. Well, not from what we saw, but they showed a massive performance throughout the league itself. There's a lot of talent on that roster. Very curious as to how they're going to take it further into the league.
Yeah, definitely. There are some question marks as well about how London's been mixing these 2 rosters and whether or not they're going to really reach the peaks that we've seen from the 2 kind of cores that they built London Spitfire with. And so that's an opportunity for Philadelphia Fusion to hit them while they're potentially a little bit weaker. So that's a great matchup, I think.
It's going to be a fantastic day, the final day here in week 1 as we open up Saturday morning from the West Coast. That's going to do it for everyone here in the Blizzard Arena tonight. Get a drink for me. I got an 8 a.m. call time. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow.